In fact, we're live right now. What is going on, my frosty friends? My name is Wintercasice, and welcome back to Discord Dungeons and Dragons with the Solaires, specifically Tiny, Walf, Stray, and Herma. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
I'm not Garden. I'm Garden.
Yes. You sound like me when I was playing Grog, and I'm like, I'm not Grog, I'm Gorg. Grog's twin brother, who's a bit fancier. And has an accent.
I'm also here.
Hi.
Herma?
Hold on, grabbing a drink. I'm right here. Alright. I'm getting a
I'm
drink.
not able to speak in this voice right now. Sorry.
Well,
My
the
voice
camera's
is
turned off, so I can't saunter. Well, I mean, I can saunter, but people won't see it. However,
My throat is too wet, Welf.
What? Ryan.
It's too wet.
Stick a towel.
What did you not get?
Just breathe like this.
however, I want to point out that when Herma and Tiny were just like, hi, it just reminds me so much of Sharkle from Night in the Woods. Hi. Hi. My favorite character. Him and May. My favorite characters.
Understandable.
I don't think that's a guy.
Yes, he is. He is a character, and nobody can tell me otherwise. He's.
Winter, I want you to hear Henrik's voice.
I'm
And then I'm
pretty
going to
sure
tell you
that shark girl is a girl. The shark person is a girl.
Ray,
Yeah?
I want you to hear Henrik's voice and answer me.
All right.
Oh.
I need Herma to use it though.
My throat is too wet.
A towel down it.
Now reminds me of Danny DeVito.
Is he just gonna?
Henrik reminds Tiny of Danny DeVito. Henrik's voice reminds Welf of a crappy Donald
shut
Trump
your face.
accent.
Alright, let's do this.
Is he gonna? Wait. So what you're saying is Henrik's voice is gonna tell Hercules that he needs to train up so he can actually fight the Titans.
Yes.
Sure.
He's gonna do a whole song and dance. Tell him whoop-de-doo.
Not the voice, it's the catchphrase.
No, come on. But man, the voice would have been great. Next,
Danny DeVito. No, wait,
that's Danny DeVito. Yeah, Danny
my
DeVito's.
brain just crossed my wires for a minute.
Danny DeVito plays the voice of Phil from Hercules.
I love Danny DeVito as an actor.
Sam, he's
And as a
hilarious.
person.
He's
A lot
hilarious.
of...
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Might I?
Winter,
The trash
early-
man.
Yes.
Earlier, me and Moore were thinking of catchphrases for our characters. Blue's catchphrase is, "You know you're famous when someone's trying to kill you." Henrik's
Tiny no. Tiny no. We can't give Welf context, okay? We can't.
Alright.
Oh, come on.
Come on. But-
Just all you need to know, Welf joined back into the party with Tiny saying, and he heard this entire phrase, Henrik now reminds me of Danny DeVito.
I still am.
Danny DeVito.
all I know.
Really bad Danny impersonation.
All I know is for my next character, I want him to sound like Guilford Gottfried.
Gilbert
To
Gottfried.
make a Deadpool character.
Oh no, not again. Not again. Look, man. I already had a Deadpool character in one of my campaigns. It was literally Deadpool. He was a cleric whose god was the dungeon master.
Amazing. I want to do that.
I hated him so much. I even told the player how much I hated him, and nothing made me happier than when he was eaten by ettercaps.
I want
I'm
to
gonna
play
do
that.
it.
Not even just the cleric that worships the dungeon master.
Just
Don't even care about Deadpool. I just want to do that fourth wall break. That would be so fun.
I just want to carry.
GM, can I get a natural 20?
No, fuck you. I'm gonna be straight blunt with you. Fuck you.
Hold on.
DM, I would like to cast guiding bolts. I'm gonna say a prayer to you.
Dear TM, please roll your dice and make
I've
it
been a
strong,
very-
DM.
I've been a very good boy, DM. Give me good rolls.
Oh lord.
Alright, let's do this.
All right.
Let's get this. Yeah, let's get this.
So I'm gonna set my drink on my new coaster.
Okay.
Anywho,
Get
I
into
have a cat.
let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble boxing. All right. Last time on D&D. Oh, I apologize. It's
No,
it's
no, it's sarcasm.
ah
Tiny and I both said it.
Bitch.
Last time on D&D.
Bitch, you just jealous of my Super Saiyan swagger. Any hoozles. Making sure I got all my documentation. Here we are. So, picking up where we left off, the Solaires after a brief journey, were able to make their way to the city of Makanali. Upon getting there, you got to walk down the path that Blue, the bard of your party, has walked down time and time before, as he regales everybody with a bit of his memories here, and introducing you all to characters that he has met in his past. A very nice barkeep, a very lovely cleric, and various shopkeepers that he has met while he is spending time here. However, upon staying inside of the Grey Mirror, you got to meet some very good characters. You got to play in the bar yourself and perform. You got to go to sleep and sleep. Oh, you slept so peacefully until Garnan, the barbarian of the group, was face to face with one of the 4 leaders of the Empire, the Zedharuk. She challenged him to prove himself and asked him where his true strength lies. What Go ahead.
Then I beat her ass.
And she wrecked him pretty badly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You rolled so
You
badly.
nearly got your head chopped off.
You got the dice
I
screwed
was
you
there
so
for the
badly.
entire thing. Garnan won, hands down.
See?
Right.
In all seriousness, my dice rolls were shit.
They really were.
I got a new dice deck. Just fuck average.
You got wrecked pretty badly, and the dice rolls did not help you.
Yeah, no. Screw average. I'm not using that button.
Anyways,
You would.
in the meantime, what else was going on was Blue and Kazir were sleeping so peacefully, and all of a sudden Blue felt this intense pain in his chest, opening his eyes to see this cultist-looking figure standing over him with a glowing white blade penetrating his chest. And Blue trying to scream out for help and trying to cast magic to try to defend himself, only to find out that the room was silenced. After a battle and trying to take out the cultist, Kazir was able to scare the cultist off and able to save Blue from being killed so that he could live another day.
Kazir would have kicked her ass if he had chased her. Well, not.
But there was always a chance that she could have also gotten away.
Yeah.
So there was always a chance there. But anyways, because she was gonna flee. She was gonna straight up flee. She was not gonna fight.
True.
She realized she bit off more than she could chew. She thought she took one of you down, and she ran.
True.
But upon escaping, you had gone downstairs, talked to Mary. Not talked to Mary. I apologize. Talked to Sarah, who is the assistant in the bar, who went to get guards to come in and assist. Where you met one of the local paladins and one of the local guards, which their names are right here. That is Guard Thomas and Paladin Vorzai. Forzi, apologies. Forzi. He's not the Fire Lord. Anyways, upon reconvening and speaking with each other, you all kind of got to know what happened, and you got to know about the Zeta Rook attacking Garnan. Got to learn about this about these cultists. Learn that, and Mary, who showed up later on to heal and make sure everybody was okay, was able to fill you guys in on a local cult group that was causing a lot of problems. Aside from that, Alosa also came to make sure everybody was good and healed. After everybody was good to go for the night and was ready to sleep again, Alosa met with Garnan one more time to make sure that his wounds were sealed properly and any bandages were necessary. The two had a very nice conversation, speaking very personally about pasts and various secrets of backstory. And Garnan asked the very interesting question, wanting to know about if he could become a witch. And
didn't expect that, did you, bitch?
that really did actually throw me off, and I can respect that. But Alosa was willing to give you the ability to become one if you wanted to, which you happily agreed, and thus a exchange of blood happened, which we'll get more into that as the session progresses. The next morning, some of the party woke up to decided to go do some shopping and take a look at some local places. First stop they made was to the Binary Compound, where they met, they met a really cool Uncle Grandpa, dope ass dude. And they met. Well, I have his name right here, but I liked the name we chose for him. Did I write down his nickname? I feel bad. I don't think I did. Damn, I'm gonna have to rewatch that just so I can find.
Uncle dude.
Uncle dude. Uncle dude. I like that name. That is his new name. God has proclaimed his name. God had proclaimed that his name would be Uncle Dude. That's all there is to it.
I'm the one who said it.
I know. I know, and now his name is Uncle Dude. Be grateful. Anyway, you're welcome. But anyways, that is also where you guys met a very special potion maker that had come to the town, named Henrik Bluethorn. Supposedly, this potion maker wanted to make his way to Starlum, as he was part of a guild there and wanted to check up on everybody. So he decided he would travel with your party, not entirely sure of what to expect. He's getting paid, though.
True.
For leaving there, you guys decided to go to one of the local magic shops, and where you decided to check out the local gear that they were working on. A couple of items seemed very interesting to you all, and one in particular for Henrik, a very special gun that was made specifically from the east side of the country, that she worked on and made it into a very special weapon. But while that was going on, Kazir decided to go off on his own, decided to go to one of the shadiest places in the city, which I have the name right here in my notes. Apologies, guys. I wrote it down. I don't have it all memorized. I wish I did.
Swollen Tusk.
The Swollen Tusk. Thank you.
I looked at the line right as you said it.
Upon coming in to the Swollen Tusk and looking around, you found a very familiar black-furred Khajiit, goddammit, Tabaxi, waiting for you.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
even
all
realize
good.
he did it.
Who was waiting for you.
Winter, you know damn well that you're going to mix those up when we do the Elder Scrolls one-shots.
Oh, you know it. You know it.
You are going to constantly call them Tabaxi.
Yeah.
I'm betting on it.
Probably. But anyways, doesn't help that I've been looking into Elder Scrolls Online stuff, so. But anyways, Upon conversing with this female Khajiit, god damn it, sweep that under the rug. Sweep it under the rug. Upon conferring with this tabaxi, you found out that there is some missions that the Thieves Guild was looking to hand out. One in particular pays pretty darn well, 5,000 gold pieces to take care of a problem. And whether or not you take it is up to you. And now we're gonna come into this. And I know that you guys, this all kind of started very weirdly, but we're gonna go ahead and start where Kazir left off, just because we were right there. No no arguments, please.
Alright, okay.
I'm
So-
texting someone right now anyways.
So, Kazir, you are currently in the Swollen Tusk bar, and you were just offered a job that would pay you 5,000 gold up front if you complete the mission, and contacts and better standing with the Thieves Guild. We have a bit of a problem that we need defter hands to take care of. If you are up for the task.
Because you're kind of. Hold on a moment.
No problem.
Sorry, I had a frog in my throat.
No, it's all good.
Kazir kind of scratches his chin as he tries to he thinks about it. Exactly how difficult would this creature be to fight?
Well, you see, the creature is, how do I say this? This particular creature is a, armored serpent that we, found. Let's go with that. We had it here under our control and away from the prying eyes of some of the government officials. However, a rough and tumble group, a rising gang, as you will, decided to obtain our warehouse and take the creature for themselves. Not... If this creature were to escape, it would look very bad upon us and my superiors. We don't have the numbers right now due to being stretched so thin, especially with all the issues going on in at Stratford currently. We need a group of mercenaries to take care of the problem. If you so wish to take this mission, I would highly recommend taking some friends. Because, not only will this creature be difficult, the people who took them are very difficult. I am,
Kazir,
go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Kazir kind of groans like discomfort about saying it, but knowing that he needs help, pills, thing. I know a few people who could help me with this.
Good. Of course, if you would rather keep it to a down low on it being part of the Thieves Guild, you can count it as a contract for hire. As she reaches into one of her pouches and pulls out a document. Kazir, roll me a general intelligence check. So
Alright.
a d20 plus your intelligence.
Alright, that. Ooh, okay. I believe Kazir's intelligence is. Hold on. Well, I won't be, believe me. Sorry. +1. So
Okay.
20.
I rolled 20.
20, nice. This is a very formal document. Like, as a rogue, you've had your time where you've had to do burglaries, where you've had to do some, you know, obviously had to abscond with some documents, mostly in Uskar more than in Atharia, but these are very official-looking documents. You would, and also with that high of intelligence check, you could tell this is forgery. Somebody, like, this is not from somebody that you recognize the name of. This is not from, and this handwriting is too neat. Not just neat, too neat. But it does look very official, and to a normal person who doesn't know the workings of the Thieves Guild, there's no way they would know. But, yeah, if you wanted to, basically, you would know that if you wanted to pass this off as a contracted job from a government official, this is the best means of doing it.
I'll be back.
Of course, if you, would rather your friends know more about the Thieves Guild, perhaps they might, get more access to more things. There are many fences amongst the Thieves Guild, always looking to buy hot items. We get our hands more on magical items that could be of use. And not to mention we keep our own personal count of political figures and information brokers.
Because you're kind of politely. God, my throat's just frogging.
You get a croak?
Sorry about
Nope.
muting you.
That was too good to go uncalled.
Because you're kind of just, leans over and says, most likely I'll tell them that this is just a paid job.
Okay. A contract for hire.
Because a contract for. Most likely I'll just tell them it's a contract for hire. I don't trust most of them.
Very well. And she slides you the document. Show the
Correct. He doesn't say I don't trust most of them. I don't trust them enough to show this.
That is
to
that
tell
is
them.
fair. That is fair. However, she does slide you the document so you can see, so that way you can show it as a contract of hire. Show this to your friends and they'll understand. 5,000 gold straight up. You, sir, will earn some personal favor amongst the Thieves Guild. Also, anything that you find there is yours to take.
Hold on, Winter. There's something you forgot to do.
Yes?
Hold on one moment.
Oh, I forgot to tag everybody. Sorry. Whoops. Professional streamer, guys. Professional.
It's okay, I got it.
But
Sure. Are they speaking in Thieves Camp?
I wondered how long it would take you to notice.
Quick out again questions if
Oh.
we're doing something else. Are
Okay.
they speaking in Thieves Camp right now?
I would assume so that way then nobody could understand them.
Yeah. Most likely if she was, Kazir would have been.
But I say that was the way their conversation started in the at the end of the last session.
Yeah.
Basically, didn't want any orcs or anything like that picking up the conversation. But anyways, she also there is something else you need to know about this contract. Two things in particular. One, the group that had taken this, our creature, our armored sneak. They are a very dangerous group. What do you know about, lycanthropy?
Would that be a nature check or an arcana check?
That would be an arcana check.
Okay. Roll that. Hold on. And roll it. +1.
Okay, so 14. You do know what lycanthropy is. It's not far-fetched and not something common in Uskar, but you've heard tales and read books on it. Lycanthropy is a disease that humanoid creatures can gain, and once they are bitten, depending on which creature that they were bitten by, will determine the kind of were creature they are. Lycanthropy in particular is deep-rooted in the term of werewolves. You don't know too much about how the disease is spread, and you're not too knowledgeable about what the origins are, but you know about the disease and are aware enough to you're aware enough of it to know that it can be potentially dangerous. These creatures typically are not very intelligent and are very savage. As you can see, go ahead.
Kazir kind of is leaning over, listening carefully as he, and kind of goes, "Yeah, I see."
As the thing is, there is this up-and-coming group that is trying to muscle in on Thieves' Guild territory. Just because this, how you could say Broken Skull has been doing it, apparently everybody else thinks that they can.
Kazir kind of growls. Damn broken skulls. Been causing a lot of problems lately.
You're telling me we've lost many contracts, lost many gear, and have had to deal with hideout raids.
She drinks from her ale. Give me 2 seconds, guys.
No worries. It's okay.
Talk amongst yourselves for a little bit. Hold on, I'm gonna take care of that baby.
Imagine being a father in the middle of a D&D stream.
Yeah.
What a good guy. Jeez. Hey, should I start reading Bart's backstory now?
No.
No.
One, you love it and you know you do. Dick.
You're a dick.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. You're a person.
Yes, Tiny, I'm a dick with a dick.
I mean, most dicks have dicks.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. No. One. No.
Oh, no.
No one.
One, we have been divorced for months now. You can back off, buckaroo.
Well, I'll just get a restraining order.
Sorry about that. Baby is content for right now. Abby's in the other room, so I'm playing dad as well as dungeon master. I'm dungeon dad.
You know what, Juan? I bet Ralph misses a time where you didn't cheat on him.
Oh, this is...
Anyways, back to where we were at.
Dungeon Dadster.
Yes.
As you can see, they have been causing problems, and this particular group of lycanthropes have been causing problems. However, be warned, they are not just werewolves. Only one is a werewolf. The others are, how you say, the other colors of the rainbow.
In real life, I am not sure what that means. Other than saying
With
miscellaneous.
with your knowledge of lycanthropy, with the 14, you would know that there are more than one kind of were creature.
Oh.
There are you wouldn't know all of them, but you definitely. You know what? Roll me a d4.
All right. Oh, wait.
Okay, 3. You would know. You know about werewolves. You know about
Sorry.
No problem. You know about werewolves. You know about were-rats, and you know about were-bears. You've heard about them. But I say you know that lycanthropy is just the general term. There are more than just werewolves.
And of course, there's a fearsome were-trout.
Well, I mean, were-sharks are a thing.
Oh Lord!
But
that would be horrifying.
But that's more of an oceanic problem, so you guys are good.
Yeah, we're nowhere near
But-
ocean water right now.
But I say we're just gonna put that out there, put everybody at rest. There are no were-sharks. You're good.
Did you piss on my seat, Cat?
Probably cats be dicks.
They really are.
Yeah.
No, my baby girl's resting now with her eyes closed and a binky in her mouth. So cute.
Oh.
But Andy Hoozles, just a word of caution. You need to be careful. These are, there's a reason why she motions to her and referring to her friend that you saw at the tavern the other day. Like I said, best go with a group, preferably ones that know what they're doing. Second thing is there is a bonus if you bring the beast back alive. If you subdue the beast rather than kill.
I will do my best.
There-
I'm sure that my company, my companions, will do their best to fight this if
That-
they believe it's
If
the
you,
best.
if you kill it, no matter what, you get 5,000 gold. But if you succeed in subduing rather than killing, we will give you a 50% bonus, making it 7,500 gold.
Kazir's eyes kind of widen for a moment, but he kind of, like, surprised it would be that much, but then, regains himself, trying to be professional. I will do my best to try to contain the beast.
Woo! TPK, bitch.
Sounds good. She finishes her ale, and then she stands up, and she leaves. One thing on the she does leave something on the table. It appears to be a vial of this greenish, blackish liquid. In case things get too rough with your friends, and you wish to spare one of their lives. She points to the end where there's a cap. Inject this into them within 12 seconds of their death. And they will, stabilize. Good luck, and may 9 lives guide you.
May 9 lives guide you.
As she proceeds to walk out. You are now alone with this vial in the swollen. What would you like to do, Kazir?
Kazir will take the vial, put it in his bag, and go look for the others. Begrudgingly, go look for the others.
Alright.
He would rather do this on his own, but he knows that it would be pretty much suicide to try and do it on his own.
That's fair. That's fair. And just for your notes, Stray, what Tiny wrote down is correct. It is a revival serum.
Oh, cool.
If it is administered within 12 seconds of somebody's death, you can that it will stabilize them.
I really need to do a better organization of my chart. Anyways. But
I'll
yeah,
help you organize tomorrow.
no, it's fine. I just need maybe splitting it up in different lists would make it easier rather than have all,
I understand. But no, there. Don't worry, Stray. There'll be plenty of missions that you can fly solo with the Thieves Guild. But this one in particular for this city, this is their big problem, and you asked for the highest paying job.
Yep.
If you wanted some lower paying ones and talk to her more about it, you probably could have gotten something a little bit lower. But it would have paid less.
Yeah.
So, Kazir will take the serum, stuff it in his pocket, and walk out
Yep.
the door.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So, as Kazir leaves the door, let's zoom out from that story and zoom in on a particular barbarian wanting to learn more about how witchcraft works.
How the fuck did you make that blue?
So, wait, hold on, what?
Continue.
Garnan, as the party wakes up and you all have breakfast, when everybody is starting to leave and going different directions, Alosa asks you to stay behind so that she can start teaching you the fundamentals of how witchcraft works.
Actually, that's not how that happened.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Garnet.
Yeah, Esther? Yep.
Well,
It-
I
it-
will tell you so Winter doesn't eat a dick.
It was a mutual standpoint. But anyways, as everybody else is leaving and doing their own thing and going to shops and wherever Kazir went, Alosa takes you behind the bar, like behind the building itself, and she takes you to this little area that there's not exactly a lot of like no, that's not true. There are a couple parks here in Makanali. This one seems to be just a little area with trees and various flowers. Nothing like not Garden of Eden or anything like that, but just something somewhere simple and nice. She sits down in the grass and she asks you to sit across from her, facing towards her.
He doesn't.
As you are sitting, she looks to you and she pulls out her athame, and she sets it down between the two of you.
One moment. Stray, if you wouldn't mind muting yourself, just in case.
Yeah, you guys are about to get some witchcraft lore, so buckle up.
This shit gonna be good. Hope so. Anyways.
So I guess the first question should be, Garnan, how much do you know about witchcraft?
Winter?
Yes.
How much do I know about witchcraft?
Based on your roles prior, you know the concept of what witchcraft is. Witchcraft can be perceived in two different directions, and it is considered. You do know that it is illegal in Atharia. Like, witchcraft is not something that most people like. It's not something that, like, if somebody catches you doing it, they're not just gonna straight up just murder you. But there's gonna be some questions. It's kind of like bumping into a blood hunter that uses hemocraft. Like, blood magic and all that stuff, and witchcraft is very related to, like, hags. And not to mention the fact that, according to one of your fellow members of your team, they talked about how witches were involved in the Great Darkness, which was the whole thing with the Warforged.
Yeah.
And thus, witchcraft is not exactly a welcomed profession in Atharia, and in fact, it typically will get you into trouble.
Probably my middle name.
But based on what you know, witchcraft goes two ways. It can be used for good, and it can be used for evil.
Then I will say to her, it can be used for good or for evil, but either way, it is generally frowned upon and can get you in trouble. But if you haven't noticed, trouble's kind of my thing, so here we are.
Yes, but that's not exactly what witchcraft is.
She uses the athame, and she draws a kind of a, like in the dirt. She uses the blade to draw a triangle, essentially.
Witchcraft focuses on the three prominent elements of the world, especially when it comes to humanity and its connection to the earth. Witchcraft focuses on the elements. The witches connect themselves to the world around them, allowing themselves to feel the things that other people called druids are very familiar with this. Connecting yourself with nature and the world around you, being able to tell when something's amiss in a world that might not notice. As you can see, that is where I'm connected, as she, once again, you can feel the presence of the spirit. However, Garnan, roll me a general intelligence check.
Oh god. 6. Yeah, I'm not using average. Why did I?
You're not quite grasping it. Something seems a bit off this time now that you see Jack of the Green.
Witchcraft connect witches that are connected to, no problem. Witches that are connected to nature. See, so nature spirits, and we connect through that way. That means.
Actually, hold on. I want to, just in case, I want to double check my notes because I have some special stuff on witchcraft. Here we are. My whole packet on witchcraft. Oh yeah, I got a lot of stuff on witchcraft. Let's see here. Here we go. And she basically, just to summarize and make it a little bit more understanding for you, the player, she's talking about how in this particular case you connect more to spirits of nature. Basically connecting to Jacko with the, yes.
I watched the Dragon Prince. I know where you're going with this.
Well, there's a little bit more to it, so bear with me.
I know.
Basically, connecting yourself to Jacko the Green, or a nature spirit, allows a witch to attune more to the natural world than most other beings. And it does give you some very cool nature abilities, and gives you a greater understanding of all nature around you.
However, that is just one part of being a witch.
She makes a mark in the triangle. Then she makes a secondary mark at another point.
We witches are more attuned to emotions. I am not sure if you've ever heard of an empath.
Garnet.
Somebody who can feel others' emotions and understand things. There are spirits that can connect that way.
Garnan, upon mentioning this, next to Jacko the Green, you see another translucent figure, but this time, it's the image of a woman. She appears to be crying, dressed in torn, ragged clothes. Her hair is a mess, matted. The spirit looks at you
and you see her eyes very intense, bloodshot. You tears welling up, but it is a chilling sensation. Those who connect with the path of the empath, they become more attuned to the emotions of creatures and inner thoughts of other people. And then she makes a marking on the third end of the triangle. Then there is the power of magic, as you can see. And she uses one of her cantrips. We witches are connected to the world of magic as well, but we are so connected that it allows us to feel the magic around us. We can sense magic anomalies and help us better understand problems that magic can cause. Next to the woman, you see another translucent figure, but you see a translucent figure of a dog. A savage-looking dog. Dark, matted fur, fangs bared, blood-red eyes. Connecting to this, you're able to attune yourself more to the ethereal powers and permeate the material plane. You understand things, the world of magic, a bit better, and it helps you understand. But then you notice she puts a circle around the triangle. These are just the three main connections that witches make to the world around us. She makes markings around in this circle, various markings, starting with 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 different markings. Various spirits are drawn to witches. All of us that are connected, typically, she points to the inner three. These are the three that connect us: emotion, magic, and nature. But witches are connected to all the world around us, and can go in many different directions. You watch behind these three spirits, you see silhouettes of other spirits, various shadows of different forms, molding and connecting. They don't quite make a shape, so you don't know exactly what they are. But maybe it's for the best you don't know. She then drops you see her just kind of wave her hand in front of her face, and you watch as the spirits fade. Typically, witches are born into the coven. The first witches were given their powers by spirits. They attuned themselves to the beings around them and allowed them to use their powers, and we were able to accomplish good things. Some bad and some good. There are witches that use good magic, white magic, as you watch as she shows you, like, her hand glows globules of light around the fingers, showing you, basically, you've seen Knuckle use healing magic, and you can tell that she basically can conjure healing magic to her hand. Being a white witch, you have access to doing very good things, helping people around you. However, you are equally as good at doing bad things as you are good. Just because you can cast healing magic doesn't make you necessarily always good. She closes her hand. You watch as she focuses. Then there is the other hand, and you watch as there's darkness in her other hand. You have what, based on what you saw with the Zeta Rook, you're familiar with this. You watch as some kind of necrotic energy appears in her other hand. There is the practice of black magic. Black magic is a more forceful, more dangerous use of magic. There are many... Go ahead.
When Alosa pulls up the necro magic, he kinda winces. It's hardly noticeable.
Noted. She goes on. Black magic has a very bad reputation, as many witches who like to abuse their powers use this magic. However, just because it uses darkness doesn't mean it's a bad thing. There are many covens that use black magic to protect themselves and protect the people around them.
She closes her hand and you watch the necrotic energy fade.
Most witches are born witches. Garnan, you are a rare case. I shared with you some of my blood. You will be the first non-born witch in many decades.
Ooh, interesting.
It is a very rare process. And you're going to go through a bit of a transition these next couple of days.
Alosa,
Yes?
do you trust me well enough to grant me this power?
If I didn't, I wouldn't have shared my blood.
She smiles.
There is something in you, Garnan. Something more than what you lead with. I'm hoping maybe this will give you even more of a perspective and give you what you're looking for.
She shows you the blade.
I am currently working to give you your own athame. I have all the materials I need to do it. It will take me a few days. However, an athame does have a gem.
As she does show you the gem that she has on her athame. Upon looking at it, you see that it is a dark purple amethyst in her athame.
Every athame has their own gem. And it really shows more of who you are, depending on the gem that you use. Was there a gem you wanted for your athame?
Garnan looks at the blade and the gem. I don't know.
She puts out her hand. And she places it on your leg, not that far away from you. Roll me a d6.
Ooh.
I planned ahead for this, so it's all good.
5.
As she makes contact, you feel an energy swirling around you. You look into yourself. You feel like you look into yourself and you see swirling energy. You're seeing the world a bit differently than you normally do. You look forward and you actually see Alosa, and you see this swirling energy in her. And you see that it is a vibrant purple. Basically a lavender color. You lift up your hands, and into your hands you see a swirling red energy. Swirling all around you. She takes her hand off of you, and slowly your vision returns to normal.
Red. A symbol of strong emotions. One that feels driven by your feelings. The gem
He
that...
kind of raises, Garnan kind of raises his eyebrow, kind of like you haven't noticed yet.
There's a difference between outward feelings and inward feelings.
She shows
His
you.
eyebrow goes away.
She reaches into into a pouch, and she pulls out a ruby.
This gem best represents you. But ultimately, it's up to you if you want this gem in your athame.
Does she hold it out for him to take, or he
Yes.
just holds, he's just making it look? Okay, yeah, he's gonna grab it.
Okay. So you just lightly take it from her hand.
Yeah.
It's an okay sized gem. For her, it's roughly the size of her palm. For you, it's because you are obviously bigger. It is roughly a decent sized square in your palm. It's not quite the size of your palm, but it's a nice decent square.
Can I see how much this ruby is worth?
If you want to roll me a general intelligence check. And I'll say with advantage because you've worked with criminals before. Yeah.
Ignore that second roll. That's a D29 by accident. 15.
15? This is probably a ruby worth about 150 gold pieces.
Garnet gets up and runs away with it.
Runs away.
He kind of closes his hand and just holds it in his palm. Closes his eyes. Does he feel anything?
As you focus, roll me. You know what? Roll me a wisdom check.
Wisdom. I
Yes.
actually have to look at my. Hold on.
I believe you have a +2 to that.
Let me check. Yes, I do. $13.
You close your hand on it. You focus. You start to get that sensation again. You open your eyes, and once again you can see the swirling energy. You see this red energy flowing in you. Just a nice swirl going in and out, almost as if it's just wind passing through. And as you look at Alosa, you can see this same energy, but again, for her, lavender. But as you look around you look at the birds. You see that they also have this weird energy in them. But it's more of a kind of a misty white for them. You look at the other creatures around you. You see various squirrels, and you see various other rodent-like creatures that would be going around the forest floors. And you see this weird, deeper orange-colored.
Darnan looks down at the ruby.
You look at this ruby, and you just, in some ways, it feels right. You look back up. You look past Alosa, and you see something. This vague image of a creature, a spirit, staring at you. You can't quite make it out, but you could feel it staring at you. And in an instant, it's gone. You blink a couple times and you see the world around you kind of come back to the way it was.
Darnan once again looks down at the ruby, puts it in the tip of his fingers, and nods.
She
This
extends
will do.
she extends her hand to take the ruby back,
Puts it in her hand.
and she will put it aside, put it back in her pouch for now. Now, how you will... The process of becoming a witch is complicated, but it is a experience that you will go through. Your spirit, you do not pick your spirit. The spirits will come to you. Whether you accept their offer or let them go is up to you. The spirits are not here to overtake your body. They're there to lend you their power in exchange for understanding their views.
so it's fine.
However, there is one thing that you do get to choose. You watch as she just relaxes her hand and kind of outstretches her right hand, and you watch from inside of her sleeve, you see a snake going around her arm, coming out to the tip, where you see Jiren again for the first time in a while as he unfurls his wings. Every witch has a familiar, a creature that is bonded to us, an ally, someone that will help us in our times of need. With our familiars, we feel a connection, even more of a connection to the world around us, as the creatures around us seem to understand it better than us, any of us humanoids. Jiren just kind of releases himself from her arm and flies to the nearest tree and starts chasing some birds. You will feel the world around you through them, just as you would yourself. They are your greatest ally. Something you might want to think about. The more you think about it, a creature will find you. And just so you know, Wealth, as a player, if you wish to take this class, you do get a familiar. It is called a bonded familiar. Gotta say, let me pull up the specific information.
Obviously, I'm going to go through with this, and I'm definitely going to be a witch.
Now, we talked about the ghostly bond, and now we're going to talk about your familiar. First,
Did we talk about the play bond? The spirit
yeah,
bond?
yes, that was what she was telling you about the, talking to you about the connection to nature, emotions, and magic. That's how the ghostly bonds work, and each one gives you different powers depending on which side. But she also explains to you that there are more than just those three. These are the three main ones that typically come to witches, specifically witches that are born witches. However, you are a rare case. You are the first in this world. You are the first witch that was created in over 50 years, like before Alosa's time.
But not before mine, because Garnan is literally 92.
Yes, but it is before Alosa's time. Alosa is roughly 28, 29 years old, which is still pretty young for Azamar.
92 is young for a Fearbolt.
Exactly. And I'm just going to read this directly from here so you get a better understanding of what the witch's familiar is, alright?
Yep.
When you start, you have an animal that is your familiar to act as an extension of yourself to nature and spirits. You may choose from any beast that is size medium or smaller and has a CR of 1/4 or lower to be your familiar. Add your...
Damn, that's some range.
Oh yeah, it's a good range, and it gives you a very wide variety of creatures that it could be.
So it could just be a sleeping dog.
It technically could be.
Okay.
You add your proficiency bonus to your familiar's armor class, attack rolls, and damage rolls. So you get to add your wisdom modifier to, like, if you look at the creature in your, like, let's just say, for example, on your phone, and you have the creature's stats. If their armor class is, like, a natural 14 for their natural armor, you would actually add your proficiency bonus with, for this, in this case, your wisdom. They would get a +2 to their armor class, a +2 to their, they get a +2 to their damage rolls, and +2 to their attack rolls. Because they're connected to you.
Okay.
Its hit point, the creature's hit point max equals the hit points number in its stat block, or 4 times your witch's level, whichever is higher.
Okay, it would honestly probably be better if you went ahead and told me this as well.
I will.
Yeah.
Oh, no problem. I'm just giving you the general idea of what this means.
Okay.
Like any creature, you can spend hit dice during a short rest to regain hit points. Shares levels only in regard to how many hit dice it will have. In other words, you could share your creature has your familiar will have hit dice as well,
Okay.
equal to your witch level.
Cool.
Your familiar obeys your commands to the best of its abilities. It takes its turn on your initiative, though it doesn't take an action unless you command it to. On your turn, you can verbally command your familiar, to where you want it to go. You can use a bonus action to verbally command it to take an attack, dash, disengage, dodge, or help action. So in other words, if you raged, and then you wanted to next turn use your familiar to do something, that would just count as a bonus action.
Yeah. Cool.
Your familiar has a magical bond to you, and the two of you are able to sense one another's location within 50 feet of one another. Beyond that limit, your familiar will actively look for you. If you are incapacitated, your familiar will try to protect you from harm. Which you saw that with Alosa when you brought her back to the inn.
Yeah.
The snake got through the window and got on top of her and was hissing at you guys when she was unconscious. If your familiar dies, you can obtain a new familiar by spending 8 hours performing a ritual to get one. The new familiar must meet the size and CR requirements. You can feel a connection to that. I personally have always believed in the thought process that you can resurrect your familiar, but if you wanted to connect to a new familiar, you could.
No, I would just resurrect.
At sixth level, your bond with your familiar grows. As an action, you are able to see the world through their eyes of your familiar and learn everything they see. You can only see what they do. You cannot hear what the familiar hears, or smell what they smell, or feel what they feel. You can literally just see through them.
Okay, so it's a wizard's familiar, but worse.
Oh, hold on. At 14th level, your familiar becomes more powerful. Each of the familiar's ability scores increase by 2, so which means all of their stats go up by 2.
Okay.
And starting at 18th level, your bond with your familiar is completely profound. You and your familiar understand everything you say to one another as clearly as if you were speaking the same language. In addition, you can, when you use an action to see the world through their eyes, you experience everything that they sense. You see, hear, feel, smell, and taste.
Okay, well, Winter, you gotta think. There's literally no possible way I can get to level 18 in Winter.
I know, but I'm just pointing that out. So basically that is, and also the higher level you are with your spirit will give your familiar even more boosts.
Okay.
The familiar has a lot of uses, which is like a combination of like a druid and a wizard in a way.
Okay.
And then basically there's more stuff to go with if you wanted to take the path of nature, take the path of emotion, the path of magic, and then there are various other paths as well.
What level do you get subclass?
Subclass. Let's see here. Hold on a second.
Tiny, I'm not asking you. I'm asking the DM. Shoot your face. Take what you roll.
What the thing about subclasses for witch is basically there are only 2 subclasses essentially, and that is
What level do you get them at, though?
that would be at 3rd level.
Okay, so it's normal.
Yes,
Cool.
and basically they are the choice of being a dark witch or a white witch.
I see. Alright.
However, you do get spells,
I figured.
which for you, well, I'm pulling this up specifically. You do get 2 cantrips from the witch's cantrip pool, and then spells depending on which level you are. Which at 1st level, which when you get there, because you're not quite there yet, because you're going through the process, you get no spells at 1st level, but at 2nd level you gain 2 1st level spells.
Okay.
But you do get
So
2
you don't
cantrips.
You don't actually get spellcasting until level 2?
Yes, you get cantrips at level 1. At level 2, you start getting spells. But witch's spells are pretty good.
Alright.
But anyways,
Strange system, but okay.
Witch-
Kinda makes sense with Garden anyways. So
Witches are odd, and the class itself is interesting. I like it a lot, personally. But she kind of just sits down and just kind of looks at you.
This is going to be a interesting process. Personally, I actually have never heard of a Firbolg witch before. But
first time for everything, right?
absolutely. But the thing is, what I do know about Firbolgs is Firbolgs have a better understanding of nature around them. And I have a feeling that a Firbolg would actually be a natural at witchcraft.
And of course, I don't need to explain to you that Firbolgs, and especially even in your own tribe, are very connected to nature, and you yourself can speak to animals and plant life around you.
Which I have literally not used once, except for training for dogs.
Yes.
That's it.
Which they're still young pups, so it's a bit hard to be, which just in case you ever wonder about like your animals and everything, unless you specifically say you're doing something with them, they are pretty much trained to stay near you or stay on the cart to prevent themselves from getting hurt.
Well,
Unless you specifically want to use them for something until when they get at their young age, you just basically have to tell me that you want them to do something. Otherwise,
Yep.
that is what they're trained to do. They're trained to stay out of sight and stay away. Because they were not meant to go into combat yet.
yes.
But anyways, so yes,
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of regret buying these dogs.
you, know,
It's
you,
okay though.
you never know. One could end up being a steed.
Yeah. The direwolf.
Exactly, and the blink dog would have its own uses. It's an attack dog,
Yeah.
or a protector for one of your allies.
Mhm.
But anyways, she basically looks at you and goes,
The process is easier for some, more difficult for others. But there are two things you can expect within these next couple of days. You're gonna be having some very strange dreams. Those are the spirits trying to connect out to you.
That's interesting.
They're going to show you the world around you. They're going to talk to you about things that they know. And maybe even show you things that you may not know. The second thing to expect, you are going to see visions. You're going to see the world in ways that you're not used to. And with that, will bring some useful talents on your side. However, it will show you a side of the world that you may never have known existed.
which well, I would like you to write something down for yourself, as you do get an ability.
Oh.
You get an ability called Energy Sight.
Energy side.
Once a day,
Continue.
for 10 minutes, when you concentrate, you can see the energy of living creatures around you.
Hold on. Continue.
Colors can vary as they match the personality of the person. But any person that is within about 100 feet of you, you can see their energy.
Oh,
That is all.
that's cool.
That is not something that's part of the witch class. That is something that I created for the witch class. And it is an ability you have now because you chose to accept her blood, as you now have the ability. Side note,
Was that the first D6?
that is part of the first D6. There is more to it. Also, on a side note, Halo, welcome to the chat. Thank you so much. Sorry, Halo popped up in the chat. She's heading to bed, but she's a sweetheart. Also, she's playing a lot of Animal Crossing and Valhalla lately. I haven't played Valhalla yet. I'm kind of jealous. But she looks at you. It's going to be a very interesting road ahead of you, Garnan. I hope you're ready.
Me too.
She will then take some time and basically start talking to you more about how the connection works and how much and start talking to you a little bit more about witch theory and like how covens work and all that, which that's all a bunch of information that is hearsay and lore and culture, which if you want to learn more about, I'll gladly talk to you about that. But for right now, you've basically got the gist of what you need to know about the witch class to start.
Okay.
We will go.
So,
Go ahead.
after all of that has happened, I would actually like to go attempt to find the magic shop that Blue went to.
Roll me a. You know what? Roll me a survival check.
Survival, I actually got it. What is my survival?
A number.
+2. Oh, come on. Hey,
As you
fuck
as you
guys,
so-
Clark.
as you start walking through the city, and you're like, all right, I can do this. I'll find this magic shop. You take a couple turns, and you end up right back at the Grey Mirror. And you're like, the hell? Hold on. You talk to some people, and they give you some directions, and you're like, all right, I can do this. Okay, just need to go this way, and you're back at the Grey Mirror. You start to get a little...
I will attempt again. I'll use average for this roll.
All right.
Another survival?
Yep.
Garnet would like the rage.
As a 7.
Mm-hmm. You know, if
Oh, hold on.
you guys were so against it, I would get that right. I fucking hate that bot.
But yet Dice Parser gave you the exact same thing.
No, Dice Parser gave me worse. I mean, better.
But you start wandering. And you start trying to... You're still looking for this magic shop that you know your friends are trying to go to. And you see the shop. It's a little worn down. It looks like it's seen better days, but you see a shop with a sign that says, The Popping Shaman.
I don't like where this is going. Continue.
But it appears to you, it appears to be a magic shop.
I will go in.
All right. As you walk
This is a
in,
fucking brothel, isn't
no. As you walk in, you see it doesn't, not a big shop, probably about 25 by 20 feet, so not huge, but a decent amount of space. You look around and you see shelves with various ingredients. Not a lot of stuff you're familiar with, but you've seen some stuff that Bimps carried around and some stuff that Knackles carried around. Various stuff, and you see what appears to be this kind of dog man behind the counter. Is a gnoll, as you've dealt with them before. He is kind of a darkish gray fur, and you see that he has one eye that is kind of looking off in another direction, but one eye is staring directly at you.
One moment.
You good?
Hold on.
All right.
I'm asking them a question. The silence.
I think it was Bib, Henrik, and did Knuckle come?
Knackle did come.
I think. Yeah. So Bib, Henrik, and Knuckle.
Did you, by chance, see a group come in here? One of them was a Warforged.
Well, a customer. A pleasure to meet you. No, I've had a couple of people come in today, but none matching the description. The name is Ramek. Pleasure.
Garnan seems just uneasy. Well, kinda nod. Just walk out.
Wait. Aren't you sure you don't want to see my wares?
Looking for weapons. What do you have?
Weapons I have.
And you see him he kind of walks with a little bit of a limp, and you see him go to this little back closet. He opens it up and he goes in. You hear the sound of like moving stuff, crashing sounds. You hear like a vase break or something. And then you see him come out with this like bag. This like duffel baggish looking thing.
Well, you see, I happen to have 3 items you might be interested in.
What are they?
He opens up the bag and he reaches in. Now this bag is it's like a duffel bag, but not like a massive one. It's like one you would take to the gym. He reaches in and he pulls out what looks to be a staff.
This item right here is a very interesting rod that when you focus on it, you can shoot energy out of it, blasting your opponents.
What else?
He sets it down and he reaches into the bag and you watch as he pulls out they appear to be 2 daggers, twin daggers, but they have this large, they're like butcher knives, but they're like butcher knife daggers, and you watch as they have these massive like fist guards.
These are the daggers of bludgeoning. I created them myself. They're daggers that do piercing and bludgeoning. They're really good at stabbing through defenses and breaking objects.
Essentially, he explains that these are daggers that can stab through and deal damage as if it was a magical weapon. However, he explains that they can also be used to break objects with ease with the guard. Essentially,
So, daggers with brass knuckles.
pretty much, except for they're taken to the extreme. I don't know if you guys are familiar. There's a feat that allows you to do extra damage to objects.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically
Not familiar with.
it's equipped. These weapons are equipped with that feat.
Okay.
So basically, if you like punched like a wall or something like that, you actually deal extra damage.
Okay. What else do you have?
A customer with taste. Maybe I have what you need.
He reaches into the bag, and you see he goes fairly deep into this bag. And you watch as he pulls out a dark black onyx blade. It is a great sword.
This is known as the Nightmare Blade. It doesn't have an official name. I couldn't think of anything at the time. It's a very special weapon.
He wields it and he focuses on it, and you watch as he focuses on it. You see your eyes are kind of playing tricks on you as all of a sudden you see 2 more of him right next to him.
Please allow your shadows to help you in battle and do extra damage and even help protect you some more. He basically explains to you that the weapon, if you're attuned to it, once per day, you can focus on it and you can cast the blur spell, so it multiplies you. So you can actually, there's a 2 in 3 chance that a target will miss you in combat. Also, he explains to you that whenever you deal damage with it, you actually deal an extra d6 necrotic damage.
Okay. Not better than the rabbit,
I would argue and say roughly similar, but the Ravager is a little bit more extreme.
Yeah, it fits well. I want the rabbit. Anyways, I appreciate the offer, but I'm looking for the other magic shop I'm supposed to meet some friends there.
Oh, yes. Looking for the other shop. No worries, as he starts to put his items back into the bag. He sets it down. He gives you directions on how to get to oh gosh. I wrote down the name. It is the Hornet.
Hornet something.
Yeah, it's the, hold on a second, I believe it's the Blazing Hornet, if I remember correctly?
Hornet.
The Scorched Hornet, thank you.
That was time.
But he gives you directions on how to get there, and then he looks at you and goes, yep, notes, exactly. He looks at you and goes, however, if you see anybody who's in the market for some magic items, whether they're weaponry, armor, trinkets, and potions, let them know Ramik of the Popping Shaman is full in stock.
Will do. Thanks.
No,
And
thank you. You walk out? Alright. So you leave the Popping Shaman.
I am going to the other.
Alright. It'll take you a bit. What do you mean you don't like him? He's a good NPC. He's a good guy.
I love gnomes.
Let's say he's a good knoll.
Tiny, if we ever play a campaign together on like a one shot or something, I'm playing a gnoll just to freak you out.
But I say he's part hyena, so I mean, laughing is kind of Any hoozles. It takes you no time at all. It takes you no time at all to get to. That's not Garland's voice. Garland's. Garland speaks more like this. Miss me, boys. I'm back.
Lizard will growl.
Reminds me of him. Fair enough. It takes you no time at all. Ramik wasn't pulling your leg. He gave you some good directions on how to get there.
Cool.
And once you get there, you notice that the party is currently looking at a gun. Oh, well, actually, you wouldn't know what that is. They're currently looking at this item that's roughly the size of one of your weapons, but it doesn't have anything to bludgeon with or anything to stab with.
I will walk in.
All right. Bring, ding, 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 ding. You guys see Garnan walk into the room.
Looking for a blade.
Blue seems distracted.
You see, oh gosh, it was
I wrote down her name.
Blue, what's on your mind?
Shell.
Yeah, Michelle. There we go. Yep, Michelle, the owner of the Scorched Hornet. Sorry, I had to write down. That was a different set of notes. I have them all. They're just a little scattered. You watched as Michelle watches you come in and go like, "Oh, another customer. How can I help you, sir?"
He's in a party.
Oh, it's good to see you travel with some bigger guys.
He is the person we were talking about earlier.
You were talking about me?
Verbals don't see them very often.
Yeah. Yeah, Garnan, as you walk in, you see this human traveling with them. He appears dressed a little weirdly for your taste. His hair is tied back in a ponytail, and he also has this weird weapon on his hip that you don't recognize. Actually, you know what? Have you roll me a? This would be a knowledge check.
Intelligent.
Yeah, an intelligence check.
Can I just
would this
request
be more
that
like
he has
history?
no idea?
I guess it would be. I would guess this would be history.
Can I just request that he has no idea?
Absolutely. Yeah, he. In that case, your character has no fucking idea what the fuck a gun is.
I doubt Garner would have a way to.
Garnan's gonna completely ignore him. Go up to the counter.
We found a weapon.
Fine.
So,
You found out what?
Sword.
but Bruce
Stranger
says
here
we
wants to
found a
give you
weapon.
a sword.
You found a sword for me?
And she
For sale.
she just kind of looks at you all and she nods. She gets what you guys are throwing down. She reaches down behind the counter and pulls out a sheath, a gnarly looking sheath. And she reaches into, she grabs the handle and she pulls out this blade. And now I will give you a description of what the Ravager looks like. Yeah, the Ravager, I apologize. As she pulls it out, you see just this gnarly, just looking blade. It has, you see that it has jagged pieces. You see that it is huge. It is a metal that doesn't look like it's pure steel or pure iron. There looks like there's some kind of other metal involved in it, so it just gives this really darkish grayish tint. You see that towards the top of the blade, you see just divots into the blade where you just see it has extra, where it can kind of dig more into the flesh. Then you see just a narrow section going down to this gnarly looking handguard that looks like it has just spikes coming out the side. Just at the very bottom, you notice that there are particularly 5 spikes going downwards. And then on the back, you see that it is more of a straight run. But then on the back end of the top of the blade, you see some more of those jagged carves. Perfect for digging more into the flesh. This is a weapon that we received from a fallen orc of a bad tribe. I was tasked with taking care of the weapon, and well, it is an ugly blade that is not gonna sell well. I'm gonna be sitting on this for a while. It is for sale, but it is 500 gold.
Do you mind if I hold it?
Absolutely. She hands it to you.
She or he?
She.
No, Garnet.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
Does it feel good in his hands?
Feels. You are a man that has experienced raged, and you've let it out. You felt weapons in your hand before, various kinds of weapons. You've as a barbarian, you have fought with pretty much any weapon you could get your hands on. You don't care whether you are proficient in it or not. This weapon is cold to the touch. It is just, you feel this dark vibe on it. You just kind of, but it for you, that dark like rage-filled side of yourself, it feels good. It feels strong. If like the more you look at it, the more you think to yourself that this is a weapon that could deal a lot of damage. You could really mess someone up with this. And if you would like to know the details on it, I will gladly give it to you.
Yes.
This weapon is a +1 to attacks and damage. This weapon has a with this weapon, if you are to kill someone with it, the weapon allows you to be able to, if there's another target nearby, it will allow you to attack again without needing to use another action.
So it's just a free attack?
Yeah, it's an extra free attack on another target if you kill someone with it. However, when you use this weapon and you kill someone with it, you need to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 13. If you fail, you fall into a sense of bloodlust and you start attacking in a frenzy. You will then roll wisdom saving throws every turn until you can break the frenzy.
I see. That's dangerous.
Oh, very.
Is it just the +1 in the attack?
It is a +1 to attack and damage.
No, I mean, is it just the +1 and the extra attack?
But I say, if I remember correct, hold on, let me pull up my notes.
Winter, you said when it hits someone, when it draws blood, it does an extra 1d6 per attack.
That is correct. That is correct. If you cut into somebody and it draws blood, you deal extra damage. So
like against an undead, you wouldn't get that extra.
Correct. But if it were against a construct or an undead, it would not give you any bonuses. However, against any living creature that does bleed, you deal an extra 1d6.
This is a dangerous weapon.
Oh, absolutely.
I am not saying that as Guardian.
As a player, you're saying that, and as your dungeon master, I'm telling you, this weapon has a dark history.
You know, I would. Like, I really want this. But I think because of the fact that Avery has been screwing me over so often, and so more recently, I don't think I want to do that.
Roll a d20.
Okay. You know what? Sure. I don't have 5 gold.
We'll be going on quests soon. Or should we say actually save it for what?
Blue, can't you just sugar daddy him real quick? Jeez.
I gave 300 gold to Ben for the saving gold.
Even if
How much gold do
Blue-
you need, Garnet?
Like 100 ish.
It's only 100 gold, Blue. Come on, you can get that much in a day.
I can. That's all I'm doing. Not now.
Blue would hate to
Blue-
get that late, I think.
Blue
Gar-
has a cold.
Even if Blue had 1,000,000 gold, Blue would not, probably.
Garnan's going to continue to just like feel this thing's weight, feel the cold from it.
Feels good. Feels comfortable.
This.
Big guy.
Hmm.
Do you want the sword that badly?
Do I
Sounds
know?
awful. No, but
He's looter.
the other guy, the other human, who I think is your friend, I don't know.
Blue is the only
Friend is-
human.
Friend is a loser.
Hired. Hired. Quote unquote.
Acquaintance. Partner.
You will get
Not partner.
part of our share for each quest we do.
And I'll help you buy that sword if you give me 20% of your pay for the next quest.
Garnan raises an eyebrow.
It's only fair.
Looks at them.
Yes?
I assume you know what this blade can do.
Mostly just what she mentioned. I have not identified it myself or anything like that, if that's what you're referring.
Pardon
But
me.
based on my knowledge of the weapon and what she said, she kind of gives it an eye. I'd like them to roll an Arcana check. Unless
If you give me 10 minutes, I can identify.
you see Michelle just kind of go, if you're looking for the understanding of this weapon, I have identified it myself. And what I've told you about it is exactly what I've perceived for it. I mean, if you want to identify it, you surely could. She put the blade is right there in front of you. If you want to, she basically is welcoming you if you want to cast identify on it.
I want to take 10 minutes and identify
All right.
as a ritual.
You guys just watch as Baloo takes his time and draws a circle around this weapon and casts some magic words, and you watch it. You watch it.
For that, Tiny, I was just gonna ask Bib if she thought it was a good idea based on what we were told. But okay.
But
That's not me. Blue does not trust this.
but
I
using
was asking
whatsoever.
Bib, not Blue.
I know,
yeah.
but Blue does not trust this.
Anyways,
But Ben, with that roll, the weapon does look very powerful. It looks very useful. You are a bit sketchy about it, though. It looks a bit off, if that makes sense. But it's an orc craft weapon, so I mean, most orc weapons look a bit off. But you don't know. It kind of gives you a little bit of a bad vibe. But for damage-wise and looking to give somebody strength, yeah, I guess. Pretty good weapon. Just, you'd probably give a word of caution to the kind of magic that comes with it. And that's exactly what she's going to do. As she kind of looks at you and goes, well, with the magic that is attached to it, I would say that it is dangerous. I would recommend using it with caution. And I would say that while it can be extremely useful to reserve it and be very cautious on how often you use it. And Michelle behind the counter is gonna nod and agree, going, I actually have to agree with her. This weapon does give off some pretty nasty vibes.
can I roll an intelligence check? Just a basic intelligence check for Garnet real quick.
Sure.
2,
I want this to be low. Okay.
4,
good.
3.
Alright. White, you got yourself a deal.
All right.
Looking towards Henrik.
So
Okay, Blue.
so you hand her the gold.
Yes. I
Alright.
hand her my 400 of my gold and wait for him to.
I will hand her 100 of my.
All right. She will take the gold, and she will hand you the sheath since you're holding the weapon.
Yep.
And she'll put out a document in front of you. Just have you sign this, dear. Just so it's registered with us.
Garnet will
Just
skim the contract.
no rules necessary. It appears to just be a standard contract stating that she has identified the weapon, verified what it is, and verified that while you purchase it, you are not under any influence or anything like that. This was your choice to purchase this weapon.
Okay. Yeah, he'll sign up.
Okay, it's like a licensed term of agreement. She takes the document and puts it, and you watch as she mutters some words, and you watch as it just disappears.
Okay.
The weapon is all yours, and the farther it is from my shop, the better. And you would know to attune to it. It will take an hour.
Yeah. Hey, Blue. Where's Scolvin? I haven't seen him in a couple days. I know he likes to go off by himself, but you think he's alright?
From what we learned recently, he probably got dangerous.
We're just not even gonna bother trying to find him?
It's on the quest board.
Wow.
Golly. Well, I mean, it's not like they have much lead.
Hold on.
Slightly hungover.
Hold on. His dog is gone too. I don't think they would have taken the dog. They would have just killed him. Do you think he just left?
Could have tucked his tail between his legs and not out here.
Maybe.
He did say he had a mission.
Okay, cool.
You guys, you would recall that Skulvin did talk about heading to this place called the Shadow Coliseum. It's not something that many people knew about, but Skulvin did seem like he was very concerned about getting there as soon as possible.
Okay. Well, I believe Garnet is just gonna go back to the tavern. Give some time.
All right.
And Winter, if you wouldn't mind sending me the written stats for those so I can drop them down.
Oh, I will, but you attuned to this item?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, before we go on to what Blue wants to do, Garnet, after you attune to this, you realize something. This weapon is cursed.
Oh, motherfucker.
You are attuned to this. You automatically feel an intense need to use this weapon. So basically, the effects of this curse is you will openly try not to unattune to this weapon. You will like hold onto it dearly.
Okay.
You will feel a compulsive need to use this weapon whenever you're in a fight. And there is one other thing with this curse that I will not mention in this chat. If you want to head to chat 2 with me.
Oh, come on. No, oh,
It's a sentient.
Uh-oh.
So, with the third thing about this.
Hold on, I gotta write this down real quick.
Oh, absolutely.
So, the Ravager or Ravenger?
The Ravenger.
Okay. So, Ravenger plus 1. Okay.
All right. Do you need me to?
Hold on. Yeah, re-say everything real quick.
All right.
If you don't mind.
No problem. It's a +1/+1 to both attack and damage.
Got
It-
that already.
When it makes contact with a creature that can bleed, it deals an extra d6 damage. So basically, it does 3d6 instead of 2d6. But I would write that separately, so that way you know that it only works on creatures that bleed.
Yep.
If you kill somebody with it, you automatically get a free attack on another creature if they are within 5 feet of you. And you must save on a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw, or you become feral and attack anything near you.
Okay.
Alright. You can also write that this item is cursed.
Yep.
You will actively refuse to deattune to it.
Yep.
You feel compelled to use it whenever you're in a fight.
Okay.
And last but not least, Garnan, because of, and the one thing about this weapon is I feel bad that you're the one who picked it. Whenever you use this weapon, you feel angry. Very, very angry. And it will, if you don't satiate this creature's bloodlust, it will throw you into a rage. As in, it will activate a rage on its own.
Oh.
I was kind of scared that you might get interested in this weapon, and I was just like, well, this is either going to be really good or really bad.
Oh.
I want to choose the path of the witch to try to quell my anger. Buys the one weapon that is going to not satiate that need.
Okay. You couldn't have even done a, are you sure about that? No, you just straight up let me.
Yeah, you knew about it. You saw
I
Blue.
did.
You saw Blue's hesitation for you to get it. You saw. You saw.
Garnan doesn't trust Blue at all.
Bimp gave you a warning that the weapon does not seem right. The DC for that was a 25. If you would have got a 25, you would have known that it was cursed.
That's
It's not something that the identify spell would pick up.
yeah.
Because if you don't know to look for it, you wouldn't know. The identify spell can pick it up, but only if you focus and your mentality on it. Basically, the identify spell just tells you the magical effects on it, like what all it does. However, it won't, and I had to do some research on this. It specifically will not tell you if the item is cursed, unless you are, as the magic user casting the spell, are looking for that.
I see.
I actually learned about that in Critical Role when they've got the core cut dagger, when Caleb used it.
Spoilers, set the face.
Well, it's a weapon that you already know about.
I don't remember.
The dagger that Avantika carries.
Oh.
But I say I'm not going to give away any details about it, just specific about what the weapon is and what it does. But basically, it is a cursed item. And when Caleb cast Identify, he did not see it, that it was cursed. But when he focused on it, like looking for something that was wrong with it, that's when the Identify spell picked up the curse. But unless you look for it, you can't tell it's there. So, shall we rejoin our friends?
I'm just scaring the shit out of them real quick.
Oh, I know. I mean, don't get me wrong. They have every reason to be scared.
Oh yeah, this is not good.
This could be really bad. This is gonna be fun.
Okay, we can go back now.
All right. Hello.
Guys, I have made a terrible mistake.
Sure. Oh,
You
I'm
never
so
told me what
certain you
identified
did.
Or did I not get
Here's the thing about Identify is that, yes, you did cast Identify and you did learn about the magical effects on it. However, it will not tell you if the weapon is cursed unless you are looking for it. If you focus solely on it and put that into your scope and radar, you would not be able to tell.
I'm pretty sure that Blue was looking for any side effects of the weapon.
Unfortunately,
Doesn't trust it.
Unfortunately, you didn't specify that,
Sure.
so therefore, you did not tell. As the player, you did not let me know as the dungeon master that you were looking for a curse on an item. You were just wanting to know what the magical effects on it were.
Winter,
Well, can
question.
you stop being a drama queen?
Winter,
Yeah.
question.
Yes.
On the last effect, does it have to kill or does it just have to hit?
It really
It
just
has to,
has to hit.
It needs to draw blood.
okay, it just has to hit? Okay.
Yes.
So you can just
That
cut
could've been a
yourself once
lot
per
worse.
day.
Bloodthirsty
Bloodhunter.
blade.
That could have been a lot worse, trust me.
Yeah, but
you could have just cut yourself.
you also don't know the full effect, like how bad this could be. So this could be a lot worse.
Oh yeah.
But yes, But now, Blue, there is something that you wanted to do.
They don't know that it's cursed, do they?
They have no idea. They just
Yeah,
they
I
got a
don't either.
they got a bad vibe off of it, and Bim-
Only Garden knows it's cursed.
yes, and
Nope.
Gardan does know it's cursed. However, he doesn't want to separate himself from it.
So he won't say.
Yep.
I love this blade.
The sad part is, Bimp just didn't roll high enough on the DC. If she would have got a 25, she would have been able to just look at this and realize it was cursed. but she only got a 22, so it gave her a bad vibe. And that's it.
Alright.
Bad vibe.
Once Garnet leaves, Blue looks at Henrik the Pinnacle. Is this after that Michelle has told Bimp about a park thing nearby?
Yes.
Okay.
And I apologize that this might have been a bit confusing, but basically the reason why
It's a bit jumbled.
But the reason why Gardan could enter that after Henrik picked up the gun was because you guys did take some time at the binary compound, and you did let him, you did let Henrik make a potion, which did take some time. So basically, that gave Gardan enough time to not only do his training, but able to meet up with you guys afterwards, even after getting lost.
Blue looks at Henrik, Bimp, and Knackle. Henrik, would you like to come with us? I have something that we need to do.
I have a copper fee for being your butt buddy.
How much?
That was just a joke. I'm sorry.
Greedy
Blue,
bit.
Blue reaches into his bag of holding and pulls out 1,000 copper and hands it over.
Sorry. Just reach through your bag. Just grabs a handful of 1,000 copper. Here. Ching.
No, okay, he has a bag of holding, but in said bag of holding, he has several different type bags of cash.
Right. You just have one for every
Bags and
position.
bags.
10 copper, 100 copper, 103 copper.
Could you put bags of holding in bags of holding?
No, you
No.
can't. No, you don't. No. Okay, hold on. Wait. Let me hold.
Creates a rift.
And let me explain this real fast. The thing is, a bag of holding is essentially its own pocket dimension. If you put a pocket dimension inside of a pocket dimension, it will explode, and not just explode. It will create a black hole, like it, and not.
Create a 10
Oh,
meter
damn.
sphere that sucks everything in that 10 meters into the astral plane.
And not only
Wow.
that, it hits you like the black hole spell, and it deals a lot of damage. I think the only way to put a comparison to that is if you were hit by oh god, what is it called? It's a Dunamancy spell that I can't remember the name off of the top of my head. It's the gravitational crush. At which
Wow.
Anyways, Blue hands Henrik 1,000 copper.
I said it was a joke.
I don't care. Are you coming with us or not?
I was gonna come along anyway.
Alright. Then, Knackle, are you finished shopping?
Irma. Where's the bad Donald Trump impression?
I told you, voice not wet enough. Or
I
voice
can
too
do it.
wet.
I can do it okay, Donald Trump.
No. Okay, so
No,
straight.
No,
A little bit of context. Irma did Henrik's voice in what we were playing.
Oh.
And it sounded so much like a really bad Donald Trump impression.
Let me just say that I want you guys to focus on your characters. I don't need you
Can we
all
just
getting
focus on
distracted.
D&D
Oh,
again,
God.
please?
Yeah, yeah.
That's. It was really funny. Because Tiny couldn't disagree with me.
Let me just say I respect all females.
But if you're a female, You're insuperior.
Nickel, are you finished shopping?
Knackle just kind of nods. Affirmative. I have resupplied on all the gear that I needed. My voice didn't crack. Bim,
It might have lagged, but it sounded like
I assume Bimp has just picked up the components she needs for any of her spells. However, you do notice that Knackle does walk out of the Scorched Hornet with a diamond. Pretty decent sized one too.
Spell component.
You would know, Hendrik. Actually, you know what? Roll me an Arcana check.
Time to use my spell proficiencies. 22.
Oh yeah, you would know that diamonds are definitely a spell component in spells and various others. With a diamond that size, that is a diamond that's worth 300 gold pieces. You would know that there is a spell that clerics use that can help somebody who's passed on be revived quickly. That is what you know.
Wait, supporter of Warforged cleric.
Okay, I hate to do this, but I think I'm gonna have to go. I feel really sick and I'm in a lot of pain right now.
That's okay.
I'm gonna go to bed.
That's perfectly fine. I feel like this session might just be kind of a shopping session and getting ready to go on a mission.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling good.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I
no worries.
I will control Garnan in the meantime.
And we can just roll it back that Garnan is freaking out right now.
No, he's not.
He drank like 12 cups of coffee. He's got some white powder on his nose and he's like, "We need to open a restaurant. We need to open a restaurant." Okay, call it Bear Essentials.
He drank an entire
Get the
bowl
bees
of
on this.
Uncle Jude's coffee.
Okay,
The square makes a circle. The square makes a circle. The square makes a circle.
He drank an entire.
All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle.
And there you go.
All right, go ahead.
Blue leads everyone to
The local park. All right. You follow.
Is there anywhere around where?
Yeah. You start making your way downtown, walking fast. Faces pass, and you're homebound. You find you find
Sorry.
no problem. You find this park. It is it is essentially a kind of a wildlife preservation area. Mostly for people use it a lot for picnics and for playing with their kids and all that stuff. And it's got a lot of flowers. It's a very pretty garden. Like the park has very pretty garden around it with various kinds of flowers. A lot of open space, various trees. It seems to be like a little bit of a sanctuary inside of the city. Not something common from what you experienced, especially in the capital.
Blue looks around a bit. Is there
Any place to
I think his internet might have crapped out.
possibly?
Yep. Called it. Well,
hi.
Hi.
Is there any place around that?
That it has what?
oh,
Pretty much nobody around.
It's about midday. Not a lot of people are at the park currently. A lot of them are still working. You do see some kids off in the distance, but as soon as they see grown-ups, they kind of run away. They don't want to. be too close, you know, stranger danger and all that.
I want to find a part in the park with not many people around where I can see well into the sky.
All right. You go into the area with a lot more like trees, and you get to this little clearing. It seems pretty shaded. Like not too many people can see you from the streets and everything. I mean, you're not hidden unless you want to be hidden, but you're as far as like a base observation, it'd be pretty harder to notice you guys right offhand.
Okay, I'm back.
Bimp Knuckle, do you two?
Trust me.
Yes, Blue.
No.
I do trust you. Does Bimp trust Blue? Do you trust him?
Yes.
I can show you the world. She looks at you kind of nervously and goes, yes?
Yes, Aladdin.
Lily looks at that. I remember when we spoke with Zachariah. You surprised look on your face when you saw him like that.
Yes.
I would like to try a spell on you.
Blue would like to cast a spell on you. Do you
I
like-
cast a spell on you. Sorry, I had to bring up that.
Basically, Blue comments about how you were bewildered by Zachariah using a spell that allowed him to fly around. He's asking your permission to cast a spell on you.
I mean,
Basically, will you allow him to do it?
yeah.
She nods her head, and she shows that she will not try to fight.
Lily closes his eyes. This will allow you to fly for minutes.
All right. So you're casting the spell.
Yes.
Fine.
Blue closes his eyes and starts
And
casting. Rising.
one more time, you were cutting out.
There. Blue pulls out his lute, closes his eyes, and starts playing the softest music. And muttering arcane words and cast Rising Crescendo.
All right. As he closes his eyes and he starts to play his lute and starts singing a low tone of arcane words, Bimp, you feel like you don't weigh anything. Like all of a sudden you start to kind of rise from the ground. You feel like you could fly. And as you close your eyes and you focus on it, you feel that magical energy. You open your eyes and you start to float upwards and rise up. And you can control it. Full maneuverable flight. And so you just fly around, just kind of give it a test.
Yeah.
Do some dope flips. Roll me an Arcana check.
And
10? Alright. That's enough for you to know that that Blue did tell you that it only does last for 1 minute. So you're conscious of that. So you're focused enough that once about 54 seconds have passed of you flying around, enjoying yourself, having fun, and allowing Blue to kind of show off his magic, you consciously make the decision to glide down and give Blue a nod. And Blue, while all that was going on, when the magic takes hold, you feel like you feel an extension of yourself extend out, And as it does so, you feel a little bit of strain in your eyes as you're focusing. When the minute is up, or when you choose to drop the spell, you feel a stinging in your eyes. Like, not one that's like super bad, but it just stings a little bit.
The entire time she was flying around, Blue was extremely pissed up and seemed to completely focus on usual spells.
You were making doubly sure that you could cast a spell.
Yes, plus lets me call it pretty much quote unquote super concentrate.
Yes. Basically,
Concentrated.
normally the fly spell is like a 5th or 6th level spell. You can use this fly ability for a minute, however, it does come with some side effects in order to use it. But it's a good ability, especially in an emergency.
Like falling from the cliff.
Or say, for example, somebody was trying to get you guys and somebody was left behind.
Yes. Get to us fast.
That is correct.
Once the minute is out, Blue stops playing and smiles.
Which you're happy to see that Bimp understands that almost a minute has passed and she chose to come down, so that way she didn't just fall. However, if you would have rolled a natural one, that's exactly what would have happened.
And if she felt well, Blue would have just cast it again. Keep flying.
True. Very true. But yeah. And it does work without a flaw. So far, all the spells that you have found in this scroll have worked exactly as planned. So, about to say, Solomon seemed to have worked out a lot of the mechanics for these spells. Was there anything else you would like to do?
That is the only thing I would like to do during day. I would like to go back. Yeah, I would like to go back to Graveyard and
Go back to the Grey Mirror Inn and what?
watch the Orkman fight.
The Orkman group?
Yes.
Fair enough. So as you guys return... Go ahead.
No, I want to send the others to the Graveyard and I'm able to look
You'd like to look for...
Kazir.
Alright, well, Kazir, you would know, to your knowledge, it went back to the Grey Mirror Inn. As far as you know, he said that he was running an errand and he was going to come back to the Grey Mirror. Unless you guys had a private conversation that I don't know about.
I go back to the Graveyard and check if he's there.
Okay. You guys all arrive at the Grey Mirror. Kazir, you are the first one back. And you do notice that Karik and Philman are there. You do see, however, you do notice two things, Kazir. One, they seem pretty happy. And two, you see that Philman has some new weapons.
Oh,
You see that he seems to have these butcher-like knives, matching knives, with these pretty massive size handguards with them.
I wonder where he got those from.
Who knows?
yeah.
But yeah, you see them kind of wave at you just to get your attention.
Kazir kind of waves back and goes over to them. Hey, hey guys.
Hey son, how's it going?
Pretty good. Sits down with them. I think I found us some work that might help alleviate a lot of our problems.
You see Karik, and then all of a sudden, what? So did we?
Kadir kind of laughs hearing his enthusiasm.
I never would have guessed
Well,
somebody else was looking for work for us too. I mean, we went to that place where all the pretty girls are, and lo and behold, we found the job board. We picked up a couple of the flyers.
Wow. Cool.
And he shows you that he has a couple of papers on him.
Kazir kind of looks over the papers, and like in one hand looking at some holdings of papers, looking at them, and in the other he's kind of fishing out the document.
Okay.
From earlier.
Which, Kazir, upon seeing some of the papers that are in Karik's hand, you do notice that they also have some they do have the same official symbol that is on your document. They match up a little too well.
Kazir kind of smirks. Is it the same, like a copy of the document, or is it just...
Not an exact copy, but a copy of the handwriting and a copy of the insignia.
Well, okay. What does my correct say?
Oh,
like, what
he
job
has
is it, though?
he has 3 of them, and it tells you that he looks at you and goes, "Oh, here's the thing. I want to talk to all of you at once because these jobs go from pretty basic to terrifyingly scary. And I just grabbed all 3 of them to determine what we want to do."
Kazir kind of nods. Yeah, I got the jobs kind of in the higher tier of things. Well, no, I wouldn't say tier, probably.
Philman just kind of
Got
looks.
one of the harder jobs in here.
Philman just kind of looks and goes, "That's good, son. Well, how about we wait for the others to show up so that way we can all make a decision together."
That's a good idea.
We did get some drinks, and I picked myself up some new weapons.
Nice.
They are
I
very...
should
Go ahead.
I'll probably do some shopping later on.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. But after a little bit, you notice that Garnan is the next one to show back up, and he's wielding a weapon. He appears to be wielding a pretty nasty-looking weapon, but it's sheathed, and it doesn't look like it's hurting anybody. But it doesn't look pretty. He sits next to you guys and kind of tells you about his experience, and he's kind of just focusing on the weapon while you guys are talking and having casual conversation. And in the meantime, you guys start. It takes roughly a pretty rough, decent amount of time, but you see that the rest of the party joins you guys back at the Grey Mirror, and you guys do see that the Orcman group is playing on the stage. I'm gonna roll a performance check for them.
Fail.
God damn, Jesus Christ, that's a 25. They're killing it. They're doing a great job. But you guys all gathered together and you're sitting at the same table. And Karik just looks at you all and goes, "Okay, so, guys, I picked us up some flyers to tell, and these are the 3 big missions that seem to be out right now that we might be interested in." And he puts down the 3. And go ahead.
Blue looks over, sitting the feet, sees a little word
The Ulnuk? Yes, you do see one that does have the word Ulnuk on it.
Takes that, taking a look at it.
On the document, you see it says "hunt and kill." It is a document. The document is a hunting document requesting a party of people go after a group of members of the Ulnuk tribe that seem to have partnered with an unnatural creature in the forest. They were able to use that to their advantage and even sacrifice some of their own people to get away from the Zedaruk. No one knows exactly how they fully got away, but essentially they were able to escape with their lives and are currently in the open grasslands and forest to the west of where the city is. They are offering a 7,000 golds reward, and if you kill all of them and you don't bring back their leader, the price goes down to 5,000 gold.
I want this.
And there is a bonus if you for the amount of orc ears you bring back, as a representation that you killed members of the Ulnuk tribe.
Understandable.
And they have to be the left ear.
Oh,
That's kind of odd.
Well, it's so that way you couldn't just take a left and a right and try to claim that there were six.
Oh yeah. Okay, left ears. That makes sense.
Blue's holding it, just reading it. He's gone.
I also, Kazir kind of stands up. I also found this one here, or puts it with the other paperworks.
Okay. For the rest of you guys, if you want to see what the other jobs are, another job, according to the document, talks about heretics wanted. It's a document that says that there is a cultist hideout, supposedly, affiliated with the cult that's been attacking innocent people in the town. The guards have not been able to have been stretched very thin, and unfortunately have not been able to raid this base. And it is recommended that if it is that a party goes into this, upon success, if you can bring back any documents and verifying this, and bring back weapons proving that you killed members of the cultists, it is a 10,000 golds reward. And as they will and according to this, 2 custom weapons will be made specifically for your party. Given to you by the mayor's personal magic user. And then the third mission that Karak had: kill the Cyclops. Supposedly, according to the document, there is a Cyclops that's been causing a lot of problems on the Ravaged Path. Because of the Tanaruk's obsession with attacking Stratford, they haven't been able to deal with this problem, and it's been causing a lot of problems for towns between Makanali and the capital of the Empire. And that if anybody wants to kill the Cyclops and bring back its eye as proof, it is a 25,000 golds reward. But it is a very dangerous quest, as it does say that a lot of people... It does seem like a lot of people have touched it. The date on it says that it is several months old, so which means it's been on the board for a while.
Really, I plan on spending time this time. I have some personal business.
And
No, just to slowly work up.
And last but not least, there is Kazir's document, which Kazir, you don't know that. And I can tell you this right now, it's not a basilisk.
Ooh.
It is a different kind of creature, and we will get to that if you guys choose to take that mission. But Kazir, you know the context of this mission. However, you never read the official document. The official document essentially states that one of the that there was a creature that was being studied inside of the city near the city of Makanali, and was under the request of one of the barons. Basically, the Baron wanted this creature tested to see if there was any magical properties, and unfortunately, a gang of hooligans have caused problems, and requesting aid of a group that would be willing to do it while the whole Stratford situation was going on. It's very formal. The words are very well put together, and basically, it's a good forgery, and makes it seem like this was a government official requesting this. And based on your guys's passive investigation, you do not sense any foul play on this.
Are you sure about that? Because my passive, what was it, investigation?
Yeah, passive investigation.
My passive investigation is 17.
No. Nope, it looks good to you.
Damn.
Basically, the only one that knows anything's going on is Kazir.
Prior to, about to say 2 streams ago, I rolled for the forgery on this, and they rolled a 22.
Cool.
Jesus.
Yep. They rolled good. It is the Thieves Guild, after all. Did you expect anything less?
Yeah. Nope.
Yes.
In fact, I kind of would expect it to be more.
I'd say, it's not their best job.
The Thieves Guild was a pushover in Skyrim. Okay.
In Skyrim.
True, but they were like degraded, falling apart.
It is true.
And D&D is like a better Skyrim, so Thieves Guild's gotta be worse.
Yeah. Wait,
That's how
no.
it works.
Any
Yeah,
hoozles.
whatever.
Any hoozles.
This is why I don't play high intelligence characters.
We're
Well,
gonna
wh-
stay
okay,
here
it-
for a while. Let's just
Okay,
hang out.
That's a pretty good idea, actually.
Henrik is going to suggest Snake.
I wanna go for the owner.
One vote on Snake, one vote on Old.
Losa rejoined you guys as you guys started talking about the missions, but she only just rejoined once you guys were talking about the missions. She is going to cast her vote on the cultists.
She's a bit cocky, isn't she?
She's well. Here's the thing. She's one of those people that has a bit of a problem with fanatics using their religion to excuse themselves of doing things.
Actually, I know we died last
Well, the thing is, I suggested you doing this because of the fact that it could also give us better standing in the city. Having the mayor recognize that we helped solve a citywide problem would give us a lot of street cred.
Well, yes, that might be true. The Snake give us some damn good poison to use against the cultists.
That is also true. That is also very true.
How did I miss what word? Cultist, Snake, Oluk.
Philman will nod and go, "Listen, son, as long as we have time to do most of these, I particularly like to put my interest in the snake. I'd like the thrill of the hunt."
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I got a big ass lizard on my side. What the hell are you gonna do?
Karik is gonna kind of scratch his chin a little bit. We should be very careful. Whichever one of these we do. You see a kind of a blue. You notice Kark's demeanor changes quite a bit as he starts talking. Went from his joyful, kind of glee, happy, lazy person to looking at you, and he goes, "We need to be careful. The more attention we draw to ourselves, the more people have prying eyes and focus on starting to pick us off or trying to cut us off. We need to be careful."
I trust that he because Alex Sarah is really cool.
Well, you just see Karik is kind of giving the warning. True, very true.
Plus those two weapons. You could help us with the snake.
But
Those two weapons could help us kill anything. It's not just exclusive to the snake.
Blue flicks him.
I will flick him back with my left arm.
But yeah, that happens.
Honestly, I blew that flick from my left arm was a bit harder.
I'm an idiot. I didn't realize I muted myself. Or turned off my mic.
Blue would know that flick hurt a lot more than what a normal flick should hurt.
That isn't suspicious. Left arm.
What? It's just an arm. Nothing fishy. Nothing fishy. I'm just a potion brewer. That's all I am. I speak for the potions, and the potions speak for me. I'm the potion lax.
Where? That is the.
Oh.
So.
If we go after the cultists or the my tongue got tied. Unuk. Think Unuk. We might be able to get the weapons they have. And, well, which could be a bigger help to fight the others.
I have no idea what Garnan would have picked, and so I rolled for him, and Garnan's gonna pick the Cyclops mission.
Yeah,
Excuse me?
actually, not to be rude, but yeah, I can kind of see
Garnan, yep.
going.
He wants to.
No, as soon as Garnan picks the Cyclops, as soon as Garnan picks this freaking the Cyclops, just smack. Kill my dude.
The uncle slap. Sorry, didn't mean to tap my mic.
You just got slapped. Whoa.
He gets a slap from the right arm.
Is this Blue was asking if this is fine for everyone?
Oh, the order from top to bottom. First the cult, then the snake, then the.
The party will agree as long as they can get to most of them, but Karik kind of reiterates himself. We should proceed with caution. Remember, every mission we do to help will bring more attention to us. The more attention to us, the more dangerous.
What's so wrong about attention?
What? Because your response, we're wanted, in very quietly.
You're
Wait, well, what's he supposed to say?
You see
You're wanted.
You see Philman speak up. Listen, son. We pissed off some people in higher power. We didn't do anything illegal. You know about the Tanaruk, correct?
Of course.
You know how much they abuse their power. You would definitely know about how bad the group is since you've been spending a lot of your recent.
I'll be right back.
No problem. You spent a lot of your recent time in the past few months in this side of the Ravaged Path. So you're well aware. It's just a little odd to see it like in a town rather than outside of town.
Who are you wanted? Well, better question is why are you?
We're
We
wanted.
defended ourselves.
We helped a city named Melbourne. The city was meant to be destroyed by the Voodoo Rook.
We just got attacked. Helped ourselves.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
It was just a wrong place, wrong time sort of situation. Maybe, as you would like to know, are the wars done? Ooh, it's gonna be a big name.
Yep, I noticed.
Insight check.
Go ahead, roll an insight, and have you roll a
Rolling a deception.
rolling a deception.
I'm gonna roll a point of luck. I'm gonna use a point of luck.
Where's my
Yeah.
insight?
Oh!
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm probably not gonna be able to detect this, but whatever.
I
Nah.
got a 25. I got a 25.
1-5. All right.
He got
Warriors
got
of
a
Dawn
six.
is a cool name, though.
He seems Henrik, to you, he seems to be legit. Like he's telling the truth. He doesn't seem to be hiding anything.
I have never fucking heard of the War's Dawn.
Good. Then we're doing our job right.
Wars of Dawn is a really weird name for someone who's trying to keep on the down low.
Well, we like to keep on the down low, and if they do hear of us, they'll forgive. So, it works out.
Well, anyways, I'm gonna be going.
You'll have a nice rest. You're gonna need it.
All right. Yeah, off to a nice rest.
And
Okay.
then the next morning, I'm going to create 2 experimental shots.
Blue, I have a thing I want to do. Once, not like a bit before the people, the orc band are gonna finish, I want to pull Kazir up into our room.
Kazir goes with him willingly.
All right.
Yeah, my mic's on.
Yes.
Sorry.
Blue locks the door behind them, like he's done several times. I want you to teach me.
You cut out in the middle there.
Blue locks the door as he's done several times and turns to Kazir, closing his eyes. I want you to teach me.
Wait, are you asking just for teaching? Because it keeps like cutting out after, right as you say teaching.
Blue says, I want you to teach me, but doesn't go further yet.
Teach you what? Kazir asks, a little intrigued and willing to do what Blue wants. Need.
This morning, last night, I couldn't do anything to defend myself. I usually based her on words, but I want to be more. You saved me last night, and I want that type of. I want you to teach me how to become a rogue.
Kazir nods. You know what? You helped me. I'll help you. I'm sorry, my brain just kind of is dead right now.
It's fine. We will start practicing whenever you need. Hopefully.
Yeah. First thing in the morning, we'll start training.
Now, I got a short one. I have a special guest. Blue goes back downstairs and waits for the workman group to finish playing.
Kazir follows.
That's it.
Did Winter just pass out or
No,
disconnect?
I'm still awake. I'm
Alright.
still listening.
Sorry.
I'm just letting you guys discuss amongst yourselves what you want to do.
We've already done that. Blue was waiting for the workman group to finish and
Yeah.
move off the stage.
Kazir agreed to help train Blue in being a rogue in the morning.
All right, sounds good. And the Orkman group, they play for a nice long while, but after 2 hours of playing, they decide they are ready for a break, in which you offer to hop in.
Nope. Once they go for a break, Blue goes back upstairs, and I would like to pull out my disguise kit and put on my third.
Fair enough.
Is there a window in the room?
There is in the bar room. Yes, there are several windows.
No, I mean in the his room.
Yes, there is a window.
Yeah. Okay. Blue opens up the window, pulls out the notepads from his dungeon, and puts down the note from the window and ties it to like a table, a bed. Once he's done with that,
I'll take that after you.
he puts on makeup hiding the scar on his neck. Should I roll deception?
Yeah, roll a deception check.
Natural 20.
All right.
Jesus.
Stray can always see if you don't want to believe him outright. You can roll an insight to see if you think he's lying.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, my brain's just kind of jello right now. All of a sudden.
Wait.
Ow.
Would you like to see if Blue is like, lying about his form?
Oh, yeah,
Or
because you will roll.
Did you,
Um,
wait, did you follow him back up to the room?
Oh, no, no, Kazir didn't follow.
He's gonna attack.
All right.
Once Blue is dressed and his scars are, well, the scar on his neck is covered up, he puts on a hat and puts in his earbuds and climbs down the rope comes through the front door holding a check it out. He pulls out. He comes into the main bar chamber holding a fiddle. And he goes on the stage, not making eye contact with anyone, and he starts playing. He gives himself enhanceability with charisma, then starts playing. You okay?
Me?
Yes. You're being extremely quiet.
Yeah, Lawson thought it is also just about 3 a.m. So
So should I roll for performance?
yes, for performing in the bar, it is a performance check.
So he has the enhanceability, and I'm gonna use my final point of luck for the day.
Wait, well, do you want to just see what you roll first?
I rolled a natural 1 first.
But you have advantage, so you got the 18.
Yes.
Do you want?
So
Do you?
that's a 28.
Okay.
And I won't use lucky.
Okay, I was about to say, do you want to burn the lucky right now, or would you rather save it just in case? So 28. Oh, absolutely. You blow this. You know this crowd. You know how to make it work. You've played for this group. You know the lefts. You know the rights. And after a performance, and with the performance, you definitely get a lot of eyes on you. And you watch the Orc Band groups, or the Orc Band group is kind of jamming along to your tunes. And so, you guys are eating some food, drinking some drinks.
Yes. Did I get any money from that?
Let me roll. Hold on.
Try
Check.
and get money for the roll.
Not bad. Not great, but not bad. You get 47 gold pieces. And five silver.
Not bad.
But as the performance winds down, and you all gathered together, you guys have all made the decision that you want to go after the cultists. You have all made decisions that it's time to make a change. And you have no idea what lays before our adventurers. And that's what we're going to call it tonight. Just because it's a good stopping point, because you guys are going to be getting into a mission, and this is one of the ones that actually I have there's actually more to the map than just one piece for a roll 20. So, because you guys could get into a lot of fights, or you can get into like no fights. If that makes sense.
Yee.
So I'd rather you guys be awake and good to go for it. And as a dungeon master, I'd like to be more awake for it.
Yeah, I agree. We're all kind of getting worn out today.
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. It's Easter. Happy Easter, by the way, guys.
Oh yeah, happy Easter.
Right, so I still got to do one more thing before I can go to bed.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, Tiny. The Easter Bunny does that. Mr. Bunny does that. Isn't that right, Abby?
Yep.
But
Just like Santa breaks into your house.
exactly. Well, no, I let Santa in. Me and him are old chums. We have lunch at least twice a year. At least twice a year, so we could talk about the way my daughters behave. But it's better you guys are better. Get some sleep, and actually we started at a decent time, because we could have a lot of encounters, and we can have like no encounters. However, we
And
got to see.
you know, we have wealth here.
Yeah, and trust me, if you guys are gonna get into fights, I'd rather the barbarian be here.
Yeah, agreed. That's a good
If
idea.
they have an artificer, it's just as good.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I'll just go into a rage and kill everyone. It's fine.
I feel Henrik is gonna die rather fast.
Yeah.
That's because you don't understand artificer.
But yeah,
Makes sense.
just want to say for the stream and for anybody who watches this in the archives, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy the stream. If you did, make sure you press down on that like button, like there's no tomorrow. I want to thank again Tiny, Herma, Stray, and Wow for joining me. Thank you guys so much.
It was fun.
I'm becoming a rogue.
And in the meantime,
Man, it seems I'm the only person who isn't multi-classing.
Because you're.
Besides most of our party.
Bimp is not multiclassing, Knuckles not multiclassing, Karik and Filman are
Well,
not
the rest of them
multiclassing.
The rest are NPCs.
So
Basically.
two party members for sure are multiclassing. Is Kazir multiclassing or is he sticking to
He's sticking to what he's sticking to.
the assassin?
His assassin rogue.
Good
rogue
call.
assassin.
Good call. Good call. Plus also when
I'm
it's your,
not quite knowledgeable enough to multi-class yet, so I'm sticking to.
good call.
Kazir technically probably would be trying to multi-class, but my skills are limited.
You better say your character is more limited to the rogue. If you ever wanted to multi-class, we could talk about it. But in all honesty, for your first character, it does not hurt to be more primarily one class. That's just my suggestion.
I'm multi-classing because I think it fits blue.
Which is fair.
I kind of want to play a Witcher campaign. Jeez.
I mean,
Everyone gets to be Overwatch.
I'm glad you like the
I
class.
have too many ideas for your one-shots in this campaign. Too
That
many
is-
ideas.
About to say, which is there's nothing wrong with that. And besides, for the if we did move past, if you guys did get a good or even a bad ending in Atharia, the story more than likely won't be in Atharia next time. It'll probably be one of the other two continents,
He.
which only
Just might end up in a fire.
yeah, you just might end up in Atharia at some point.
Yep. That
And
would be fun.
But there's a lot to do, and you guys are only so far in. You guys are still trying to make your way to Stratford for this whole thing going on, and trying to make your way to Starlam. That's currently under siege. That supposedly is Stratford being under siege, which will be its own thing.
Stardom gone.
Starlam's gone. And you guys are trying to make your way through the Ravaged Path, but there's a lot to do here, and a lot of people to meet, and a lot of things you guys want to do. So there's a lot of sessions so far in Makanali, but that's because there's a lot to do here. We're only scratching the surface, and there's still so much more to go. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all take care. Make sure you stay healthy, and most importantly, I hope you all stay frosty.